Welcome to a pretty crazy modding video. We create the Looney MPX, which is basically an MPX in the base, but it looks like a real big weapon. It has insane statistics and it's pretty fun to play. Insane statistic means we have a recoil of only 144, which is even lower than the MP5 SD, which is currently called the laser in the game. So we are lower than this one. Before we start, look in the description. If there's a link to a video, then they changed something in Escape from Tarkov and we got maybe new grips or we have changed statistics or whatever. However, if there's a link, then just go to the new video and you will see the most actual version. If there is no link, then this is still the most accurate information you get, even if it's 2 years old. The version we build now has a very high accuracy. That means in most of the cases, you can use it as a sniper rifle. You will hit with every single bullet, even on 200 or 250 meters distance. And to be honest, most of the fights are in a distance between 50 and 150 meters. As it is an MPX, we shoot with 850 rounds per minute. That's not the most in the game, but it's really a lot. And we use the 9mm AP ammo. And most people think, whoa, 9mm, that's just a pistol ammo, it's not enough. Well, use it on this rifle, play it on customs or anything else where you have a medium distance or a CQB distance, and you kill everyone with it. Enough talking, let's build it and then try it. First of all, we need to buy the weapon, and basically there's a small bug in Escape from Tarkov currently. If you scroll down and you don't see the weapon, here it is for dollars. And if you don't see the version that we are looking for, which can be traded against doc tags, if you don't see it, then you have to click on level 2. And if it still doesn't show up here, you have to additionally to click on weapons, and then it will definitely show up and you can trade it. If you want to trade it, it says you can use any doc tag of level 8 or higher. The problem is if you use the fill items button, maybe you have a real high, like level 40 doc tag filled into this. So you don't want to do this. If you go to the flea market, you can buy it there too. You look for the MPX, click here, and then you just scroll down until you find the version that you want to buy for the doc tags. If you do this, you can hit on purchase and it should show up all the doc tags you have. Unfortunately, what you see here is that's only a part of all my doc tags. So maybe you don't want to do this because maybe the doc tags you want to use for the trade are not listed here. This means you have to go to your doc tags and have to find them manually and then take them out and place them in your inventory to be able to trade them in the correct way. And this is what I do here. I have it prepared here. And then you have, unfortunately, to do it like this. You have to drag and drop them into that field to get them counted. And you have to make sure that it gets a green border around it. And when you have filled it in, you can hit on the deal button. And I show you the way how you can find all the stuff on the flea market without typing anything. So what you do is you click on the weapon, right click and hit on linked search. And then it shows up all the things that can fit directly into the MPX. There are things you will not see here and I will show you in 1 minute how you find them. However, we start with the vital parts and we buy the pistol grip. You see there are a lot of them that fit. The best one for this gun is the Graal S, this one. And we buy it here. This grip has ergonomics of +15, which is the most you can get for a reasonable price. Next we want to buy the barrel and the silencer. For this we need to click here on receivers and slides, and there is only one receiver for the MPX. So you click here, right click there and click on linked search again. And now you see the barrels. For the Looney MPX, we need the longest barrel, the 14-inch one, this one. So we just buy one of these. So we want to have a muzzle device. You right click on the barrel again on linked search. And under functional mods, you see the devices you can use. So under flash hiders and brakes, you see the annihilator, which has a recoil buff of -6% and a very small increase in the muzzle velocity. For our case, we want to go with the silencers, and there are 4 silencers that fit directly on the barrel, or you use the thread mount adapter, this one, and this one can be used to use the hybrid silencer on the gun. But for one reason we don't, well, basically for money reasons we don't want to do that, because the hybrid silencer is incredibly expensive. It costs usually around 100,000 rubles. So these are the 4 alternatives that you can think of. And we go for the Osprey silencer. And the reason is simply because it has the best values. It gives us a buff in the accuracy of 2%. Recoil is buffed by -6%. And we have a muzzle velocity increase by 0.5. The ergonomics go down, you see that here, but in total, for what I want to do with the gun, this is the best combination we can choose, and if you look at the price, it's very, very cheap. You can trade it at the mechanic for a drill, or you buy it for money, and this is what we do. So we buy one of these. Now we want to buy the Handguard. And for this, we click on the receiver again, we right click here again, and click on link search again. So now we see the handguards here on the left side. As we have the longest version, we also can use the longest handguard, and this one also has a buff in the recoil, -4%, and a high buff for the ergonomics, +12. So we buy one of these. If you want to attach anything to it, no matter if it's a grip or whatever, you always need an adapter for it or a mount. So again, we right click here, we click on link search, and now we have the mounts that we need. We need one of the small mounts to attach a laser sight or a laser pointer, and we need one of the longer ones to attach one of the foregrips. From here you right click again and you go to link search, then you can see all the foregrips that are possible to put there. And because we want to have the lowest recoil possible, we go for the RK2. The RK2 has a recoil buff of -5% and still gives you a little bit of ergonomics. I have a different video where I can show you all the differences between all the different foregrips and which ones you should choose and which ones I have the best values compared with the price they cost. However, for this case, we want to have the best thing we get, and the lowest recoil is basically the RK2. Additionally, we want to have a flashlight and a laser sight. For our case here, we take the Clash. There are 2 of them. And if you click on them, you see the prices are not a big difference, but we take the cheaper one, this one. So in the game, you hit T to switch it on and then Control T to switch it to the laser. And if you want to switch off the laser because you're hiding in the bush or whatever, then you just hit T again. Now we want to buy a medium range scope. So you double click on the weapon and you right click here on the receiver. You click on link search. And here under weapon parts and mods, you find the functional mods and the sights. So you could use one of the normal standard assault scopes that fit directly on the MPX. But in our case, I want to use an ACOG. And to place an ACOG on the rifle, you need to have a special mount on it. So I click on the compact mount. I buy one from Skier directly. I right click again here on linked search. And now I look under functional mods, under sights, under assault scopes for the scope that I want. And in my case, I want to have the ACOG with a magnification of 4. The other one has only 3.5, which sounds, it's not a big difference, but when I play it, I hate this one. So I go for the newer version of it. And there are 2 of them, which are exactly the same, but one is black, one is tan. And we just look which one is cheaper. So if you look here, it's $300 and the 10 version is just 17,000. So of course I would normally buy the cheaper one, but because it's a tutorial and we want to have it in a nice visual, or we want to have a nice design, we buy the more expensive one. What we also need is a backup scope. So most of us, we use the 45 degree backup scope that we place in front of the gun. In my case, I don't want to do this because the ACOG has another version, what you can use. So we right click here, go and link search again. Then we have the compact mount for sights, which we used already. And here, that one, you see there's a small plate, another mount. We buy one of these because if we have this one, we can also click on link search again. And now we see the RMR reflex sight, and we buy this one too. And the last thing we want is the magazines. So it depends on when you see this video. If it's shortly after, here we go to gear mods and then magazines. If you see this video shortly after a wipe, then normally the 50 round magazines are extremely expensive. So currently they are at a reasonable price, normally between 15k and most of the time 25k. But sometimes at the beginning of a new wipe or after a new wipe, it's really expensive. So for most of the people, the 41 round magazines are good enough because they cost only 6,000 rubles and they have nearly the same amount of rounds in it as a 50 round magazine, of course. So I buy one of these, but of course, because it is a tutorial, I buy one of the 50 round mags. We have to buy a stock or a better stock. So you right click again, go and link search, and we go to gear and mods and to the stocks. So there is one stock which is already pretty good. That's this one. But I want to have it the best way we can do. So in this case, we buy the adapter here. Then right click on the adapter. And now you see there are a lot of buffer tubes that you can use. So the best buffer tube you can buy is this one, the red one. But it can only be looted. You cannot buy it from a trader and you cannot unlock it to buy it. So the prices are always insane high. I don't want to buy this one. So we go for the enhanced tube because that's the best one you can get and the price is very, very low. And now we need to buy the stock finally. So we right click here again. And now we look for the Heckler & Koch version. The Heckler & Koch E1. It's this one. The reason why we buy this one is because it has a recoil of minus 39%. It gives only 3 ergonomics. Some of the other stocks give you more. But for as I want to have the lowest recoil possible, this one is what we need. There are other combinations, but currently we only show one version here because we want to finish everything and try the gun. There's a little trick to give you a little more buff in the ergonomics. So you double click here and you go again on the receiver, right click on link search, you know this already, and you go to the functional mods to the sides and then to the iron sights. And there are different iron sights. The rear sights are interesting for us. And it doesn't matter if you buy this one or if you buy one of these. They give you, both of them give you a buff of +1 for ergonomics. So in my case here, I take that one. And now we put everything together. Right click, modding, here we go. Now let's start. We start with the grip and we bought this one. Now we go to the stock. First we have to add the adapter. Then we have to use the enhanced buffer tube. And then we go for the E1 stock. It's this one. Okay. Now the next thing is we take out the handguard. We replace the rifle, the barrel with the longest we just bought. We add the osprey to it. We add the new handguard to it here. Now we add the foregrip. So we have the adapter and then we can use the RK2. The next thing was that we wanted to add the flashlight to it. So most of the people place it here. I recommend to place it, if possible, on the bottom, because it's a little more precise here when you shoot from the hips, so which means you shoot without aiming down the sights. The next thing is we are pretty much done already. Of course, we want to have the drum magazine into it here, and now we add the compact mount for the ACOG, the ACOG itself. On the ACOG, the mount, and on the mount we have the RMR. So this is how it looks like. So here are the statistics, and as promised, 144 in recoil, which is really great, 55 for ergonomics, which means you can aim really fast. And if you look at everything looks pretty cool, except one thing. The muzzle velocity looks really low. This is based on the ammunition we use, and if you look at the drum magazine, it's empty. So of course we have the minimum here. What we do is we just add the AP ammo to it, which we already wanted to play anyway. If you place it on the gun again, you have 409 meters per second. That's awesome. It's just a 9mm rifle, but it's really, really strong, and you have to play it, and I wish you a lot of fun with it. So if you look at the money we spent, then we spent about 215k. and we used 7 of our dog tags also. So it's really insanely high priced weapon. But come on, it looks awesome and you will kill so many players with it before you die, which will happen for sure. However, you will have fun with it, just try it. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video, you learned something new maybe, or maybe you had a new idea what to do. So drop a comment what you think of it. If you watched some of my videos before, you know that I'm totally addicted to the game since, I don't know, 2018 or whatever. And if you want to see more of my stuff, click here or there and leave a comment what else you want to see, if I shall change something to the videos, if something is missing. So however, just give me your thoughts. And in case we meet in the game, just try not to shoot at me, because you know I know a lot of things about the game, but I'm just a very, very bad player, so let me live and kill the others, please. Nah, just kidding, of course. Kill everyone you see, have fun.